storm clouds on the horizon right above you, but you don't know whether they are coming or going unless you have a great frame of reference. Yesterday, March 10th, 2023, we got our first storm cloud. The 16th largest bank in the United States, Silicon Valley Bank, went insolvent in a matter of hours. Within a short period of time thereafter, the Federal Depositors Insurance Corporation came in and took control of the bank. Now, is that the first or is that the last from the 2008 recession? This could be the start of the next great recession, potentially the failure of the US dollar. Let's talk about this for a second. Yesterday, as I mentioned, there was a run on the bank, Silicon Valley Bank, and this was caused by an old-fashioned run just like you used to have and hear about and see about on TV and old movies in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, that type of thing, when everybody went to the bank at the same time to take their money out. Now, there was a protection against this built into the system many years ago, like 90 years ago. And the idea was all banks had to keep 10% of their assets, which are the money that you deposit into the bank. They had to keep 10% of that in cash in their bank to avert a run. Well, during the COVID period that we just came through, the Fed suspended that requirement. So the banks don't have to keep that level of cash anymore. Hence, these banks have no protection against a run on the bank. People start hearing bad news about a bank. They see bad financials. They're scared. They don't like the way their Ouija board came out today. They're going to go down to the bank. They're going to hit that Versatel machine or whatever the ATM is, and they're going to suck out as much of the cash as they can. Only a few of them can do it before the bank is technically insolvent, and that's what happened yesterday. This weekend, this is Saturday the 11th of 2023, there are 3 or 4 others that are on the verge of that same collapse. We'll know this next week. We're going to see what happens. Why? What's caused this run? Well, first of all, these banks were heavily involved in cryptocurrency and a few other things. They were not poorly run banks. They just were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they didn't have the backing, the unilateral backing of the federal government like the banks did in the 2008 crisis. A number of these banks, I think there's about 11 of them, were deemed too big to fail. These banks weren't in that top 10 or 11 banks in the U.S. And you're going to see more of this. And once again, for the first time in history on a year-over-year basis, or at least in the last 100 years, the money supply that's available out there to everybody has drawn down. We've talked in previous videos about quantitative easing, which is basically printing a whole bunch of extra money so that it's available out there. Since the Fed is starting raising interest rates, they've also started quantitative tightening, which is the opposite. They're bringing money back in. They're sucking money out of the economy and keeping it for themselves and to pay the government bills and that type of thing. And they're not printing new money, or what they call quantitative easing, right? It's a politically correct term now. They're not doing that. So there's only now, for a year ago, there's only 98% of the money supply available. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're dealing with a multi-trillion-dollar economy, it's a lot of money. There's going to be cash shortages coming up. People are going to have a hard time maybe accessing some of their things. You're seeing all kinds of weird, unusual things go on. For some reason, one of the large banks yesterday couldn't process any electronic deposits, just didn't have them on your balance and didn't have them as received, even though they received them. There's a whole bunch of these kinds of things that are going on, but keep in mind, this is not directly related to the housing crisis. This is directly related to what the Fed's doing and the government policy. The other thing that's going to be coming up is you've got a Republican Congress, a Democrat Senate, Democrat president. We're probably not going to see the debt ceiling raised, which means when the funding runs out in June this year, probably not going to get, at least initially, we're probably not going to get an agreement to just raise the debt ceiling. The debt ceiling for this country is ridiculous. It is way beyond, it's beyond 2 years worth of gross domestic products. In other words, all the products and services, the entire value of everything we do as a country, the debt that the country owes is over 2 times that at this point in time. It's an unfeasible amount. It's totally improper on the part of a government. We've been doing it with play money. Now the chickens are coming home to roost. The storm clouds are here. You're going to see the effects, and we'll keep you guys up to date, because until you know the horizon, you know whether that's come or gone, you're going to see more and more of these things, and you're not going to know what they mean. Okay, thank you for watching. If you get a minute, I would love to hear your comments about what you think of these videos. Feel free also to put in any topics down here in the comments section, things that you'd like to hear me discuss. Any questions you want, go ahead and put in here. We'll make sure we get a video on it when we get time. And as always, please like and subscribe. Hit that ring the bell button as well to get notified every time there is a new video. Thanks a lot, everybody.